Hello, Centralia. I'm Shane Lothar.
And I'm Rachel Roddy.
And this is Centralia on Air. Thank you so much for joining us. Last week on the show, we re-aired an interview with Don Ford and Gayla Harding. They are a part of Centralia Connected mentoring program, and they're currently looking for volunteers and mentors, so we thought we'd help get the word out again.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of words, recently we talked about the longest word in the English language. Do you remember what that was?
No.
Rachel, it was pneumonotramacrossvulcan. It was the volcano death cough word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it had the word volcano in it.
Towards the end.
Yeah.
About 2 minutes in.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
And it was not supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, like most people thought.
That is not the longest word. Right. Well, here's a much shorter longest word. Almost. As in the longest word in the English language that has its letters in alphabetical order. A-L-M-O-S-T. It's the longest one that does that.
Okay, not bad. But what about this one? The longest word that doesn't repeat any of its letters is uncopyrightable.
Ooh, good one. So it's just each letter is only used one time in uncopyrightable.
Yeah.
That's a pretty long word. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought you'd be proud of me for that one. Mm-hmm. Seems how words are usually one of your strengths, not mine.
And speaking of strengths, strengths is the longest word with only one vowel.
Oh, man. You couldn't let me outdo you, huh? Oh, well. Moving on. Anyways.
Hey, that
was last week.
That's my line. Anyways, that was last week. But this is this week.
That's right. This week we have Carrie Hancock and Ashley Becker from Kaskaskia College in studio. Carrie and Ashley came by to talk about KC's Veterans Affairs program and all the great things they're doing for the military students and families. All right, Carrie and Ashley, thank you so much for being here today. Carrie, we'll start with you and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am Carrie Hancock. I am the coordinator of Veteran Services out at Kaskaskia College. So my main role is to help the veterans and military students when they are in their spouses and children, when they come out to the college, to help them with their benefits, to help with their financial aid when it comes to like FAFSA information. I'm their academic advisor, kind of their one-stop shop. So it can be a transition from coming from the military to becoming a civilian. So I hope that I do my job correctly and help them make that transition from that coming to the college, because it can be a little overwhelming. College in general can be overwhelming, but when you're coming from the military and coming to college, that can also be very overwhelming. There's extra steps there. So that's my main role. I also do a lot of financial aid things in the college. So I'll go out and go to high schools and help with FAFSA Night, which is the free application for federal student aid. So I wear a lot of hats in the financial aid office, but I love it. I love working with the students and seeing them every day, because that's why we're there. So, but that's like my main role. I'm not from Centralia. I'm from Kansas originally. I've been in higher education now for 15, 16 years. Started in admissions as a recruiter, and then I was an academic advisor at a university, and then came to Centralia and started working at the college, and I love it. So
awesome. Ashley, tell us about you.
Well, I am the Vice President of Instructional Services at Kaskaskia. I am relatively new to my position. We uprooted my family from Springfield, Illinois area back in June to take the position. Before that, I was the Senior Director of Academic Affairs for the Illinois Community College Board, which was over the entire community college system in the state of Illinois. So coming to KC, I kind of got to pick and choose where I wanted to go, and when that position came available, was right on it and wanted to take it because it's just a great college. They do a lot of wonderful things, in terms of veterans and things like that, and some of the other initiatives they do for students. So it was a no-brainer, I guess, when making that decision to go ahead and uproot my family. But I've been there. It's been very successful so far with the things we've been doing. So my job really is just anything that has to do with instruction. So anything with students, whether it's adult education, our career and technical education, our transfer programs, faculty, it all goes through my area somehow. So that's a little bit what I do. I'm kind of partnering with Carrie now with all veteran stuff. Just personally, I served in the United States Army National Guard as an aviation operations individual officer. And then my husband is actually 17 and a half years active Air Force, so security forces, so he's been doing that. So I kind of see both worlds a little bit from the veteran side as well as the family member side of the house. So everything since I've been in Illinois has been about veterans for me. We've done a lot of great things with articulations of trying to get them the credit they deserve for their service and what they've done in the military. And we continue that efforts down here at KC as well. So that's just a little bit about myself. And again, live here in Centralia. So I'm new to the area, so we're getting used to it. But all my kids are in school here, and husband's successfully transferred down for a little bit. He'll be deploying in January, but, overall, so far, so good.
Great.
Awesome. And thank you to you and your husband.
Thank you.
Carrie, what are some of the specific things that KC does for veterans?
A big thing we're working on right now, which we're very excited about. Ashley and I have actually worked together for about 3 years now, I think, when she was at the Illinois Community College Board. When it came to veterans things, we were doing articulations about she mentioned, they have jobs when they're in the military, and they get basically transcripts for those. And so trying to transcript, this is what you did in the military, you get credit for that here, So we were picked by the state as one pilot to do criminal justice, because we have a very good criminal justice program, as well as we were known for our service for our veterans. So Ashley and I have worked for like 3 years on different things. So I knew her before she came down here. So we had a good relationship that way. I knew her passion for veterans. And so I was excited when she, came on board. And one thing I've been wanting since I've actually taken this position about 5 years ago, is a space for veterans and their families to have at the college, to where they can go and just hang out, study together, have camaraderie, bring that together. Sometimes they're the ones that they know each other, what they've been through. So to have a space just for them, dedicated for them to go and hang out or study together, do something like that. So we've started that. A space has been identified, and we started fundraising for that. It's just off at the cafeteria. So once I get that space up and running, there's other programs I'm going to be bringing into that space. So peer-to-peer tutoring, having someone come from the VA once a month for counseling, those type of things. And that's what that space will be utilized for. The biggest thing, though, I see it as is just a place for them to go and talk. I have a lot of them will come to my office and just, want to talk about things. And that's great. I love that. But then I'll try to partner them up. I'm like, oh, so-and-so's in your same major.
Yeah.
I'll try to hook them up, and that way they can have someone there. And I do that, and then I see them. I love it when I see them in the cafeteria and they're sitting and talking, and they're just talking about those things, because I need that as that transition. So that's probably the biggest thing that we're working on right now. So we're doing some fundraising to make it the space that it needs to be. We want it to do it the right way. We've started that process, making it what we want it to be.
Yeah, the space really is just an opportunity. We know that most veterans, especially today's veterans, we've been in war for a very long time, and they come back, and, I see it all the time with my own spouse. They don't want to talk about the experiences they have seen. They see themselves, if they do say something, as being broke in the military term. It's bad to talk about those things, when in reality they need to have that space to be able to talk to each other. So coming on, that was the number one thing that I wanted to do. I knew Carrie was working on it for a very long time, and to get them that space. And it's nice that our new president, President Evans, also served, and his dad served in I believe the Army, and it's very important to him as well. So we identified this space and moved forward, but it really is an opportunity to give those individuals a space where it's quiet, and if they choose to have those discussions with one another, they have an opportunity with no other individual in that room. So that's the biggest thing. Another thing is the articulation work. We're in the middle right now of formalizing with two of our public universities. I'm not going to give their names until we do it, but one of which was a part of this project with articulating the credit. And we are working with Scott Air Force Base as well on being able to market this, as well as the Illinois National Guard and Major General Hayes, of being able to get this out across the state to make sure, especially those that are in fields in the military, like my husband's security forces. I'd put him hands down with the training of 17 years that he's had with any law enforcement officer. So getting them that training so that they can have a successful career upon transitioning, and to be able to get the credit that they deserve because they do have specialized training, and be able to get the criminal justice credit. So we have articulated course to course. A lot of people give military credit, but it means nothing 9 times out of 10 and actually negatively impacts them. So KC and some other institutions across the state have really worked hard to make sure it's meaningful credit that won't negatively impact them when they're using the benefits that Carrie helps them with. So we are hoping to be able to launch that around the same exact time we release the actual Veterans Center at the college. And that'll give more of our veterans an opportunity to get the credit that they need to get the degree, to be able to have that smooth transition. Because, in Illinois, the unemployment rate for our veterans is very high. And we are one of the third, actually, in the country with the highest population of returning veterans, especially among our females. So we need to make sure that we're focusing on getting them adequate jobs. I mean, you go out there, and my husband experienced this too with going from active into National Guard and moving more to civilian life, that there's a lot of people that say they're military friendly and they want to give them the jobs, but it's not it's kind of, in my opinion, below what they should be doing. I mean, these individuals, especially if they're, a non-commissioned officer or even at the officer level, have extensive leadership and management experiences, and they are very well trained in those areas, and yet they're not working in those positions. So being able to really help them find those opportunities is really what Casey's been trying to do. And so once we get this launched, I think it's the next step in the right direction of getting them into the positions that really they should be in, and not taking other roles that really is not what they are trained to do. So we're hoping to be able to have that released about the same exact time as the center. So it'd be a great opportunity for them.
And criminal justice is just our starting point for us. We want to take it to other degrees that we have that we can articulate in that. And it helps them to, if they come in and we give them 12 credit hours, that's basically one semester they're not using of their benefits, and that saves them if they want to transfer or I have students that, if they do it right, they can get their master's with all of their benefits, state and federal, if they do it the correct way. So we're just helping with them, not, because I have students come in and be like, Carrie, I know how to do that. I did that for like 10 years, I know how to do that. So now we're going to be able to say, yep, and we're going to give you credit for that, because we can see that you know how to do that. So that's another big thing we're doing, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, I love this. I can tell both of you are excited about this and have passion for it, and that's what will help this succeed.
Any idea, a rough estimate of how many veterans and actively serving individuals are involved at KC?
I would say, I know there's probably about 65 that I help use their benefits, but I know there's about probably 10 or 15 more that don't have benefits or ran out of benefits. So I'd say at least 80, 85 veterans if I had to guess altogether. And some of that's counting spouses and children that are using benefits as well. Sure. So we're hoping to grow that number. Once we get the space, I want to get more students, at KC to use their benefits. And we actually had 3 calls yesterday of students that are returning that I hadn't seen for 3 or 4 years, and they're ready to come back. I love those too. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, let's get you back going, those type of things. I have students come back and say, I did this, but now I also want to add this to my repertoire, I want to get this truck driving certificate now because the company I work for wants me to do this. So, I have returning students as well too. So yeah, I would say about 85 if I had to guess on any given day.
We're probably higher than that because, there's really not a true number that's out there. If they're not using benefits, they're hard to track because they have to self-disclose. And some veterans don't want to disclose because they don't want special treatment or anything like that. So that's an obstacle we always run into. But when we started the articulation work, KC was selected because they had one of the higher veteran populations across the state, on top of their track record with being a military-friendly institution. So, I would say realistically, military affiliated, probably at least 100. Yeah. And of the ones, with her knowing probably about 80, 85, but there's many more that I know that are there. And, we do have a lot of staff too that were prior military working for us, which makes it very special because anytime we do anything for veterans, they're usually the first ones donating their own time, money, whatever, to make it happen. I'm going to have our grounds crew, the leader of that out here actually this afternoon, because when you go to KC coming up in the next week or so, we'll have over 1,000 grave marker flags that are going to be lined out in the front in support of Veterans Day and trying to fundraise for that space, and that many of our departments are behind in sponsoring the flags. And we have a retired recruiter from the Army that's actually leads the crew on that end, and he's going to be out there with us in the rain today trying to mark out these flags to make it done right and have them spaced properly. So, I mean, there's a lot of individuals that have prior military, whether it's a spouse or someone who has served, that really bend over backwards to make sure that our veterans and their family is taken care of when they're at KC.
Yeah, I have to brag about our faculty a little bit, those that aren't, the ones that understand it, that are veterans, but I have so many that reach out to me all the time. And, when I have students, I do have students that have to maybe be gone because of deployments or just have to be gone because of their training for maybe a week, or I have a couple that I'm not getting back till after the first week of school. The faculty members are always willing to, we'll get them caught up, or just have them come in, or Carrie, I haven't seen them for a couple of days. I knew they were having maybe some transportation issues. Just have them get in touch with me. I mean, they know who my students are and they reach out to me because they care. Military friendly is more than just me being in my position and certifying their benefits. It means the entire institution is military friendly and they know what it takes to have that. And that's and our staff is the same way. They're, let's get to the right people. We'll get it figured out. So I have to kind of brag on them as well. I just had someone call me yesterday from faculty saying, hey, just want to know he stopped by, just following up. We have to have that communication open to make sure our students are being successful, because again, they do have obstacles other students don't have. And so we have to make sure we are aware of those and we are prepared to help them with those obstacles.
Yeah, we had a student, I'll share his story because I was a little thrown off when Carrie introduced me. And he, for the first month or so, he was in Carrie's office, I think, every single day. And if he couldn't find her, he'd make his way up to me because I told him to do that. But he is returning he's been gone for a while, but he's a service member that has seen some things and came back and unfortunately didn't get the help he probably needed. And that took him in the wrong direction in his life. But he came back to KC, and, his words to me were, I had to stop what I was doing if I wanted to take care of my family, and what I was doing was not helping them. And now he's back. He's been in class, and I pretty much had my officer moment with him of kind of telling him, you need to make sure this is right. And if you get to that point, you don't let me hear that you're going to quit. You don't quit when you're doing your service. You're not going to quit now. Let's get you through this so that you can help your kids and benefit them and be on the right track. So he's been really good about checking in and, having those individuals come back and thank you for that. I mean, they just need someone to be there for them. So they do have unique challenges. And I don't think many who are don't have real good knowledge of what goes on when the sacrifices made from not only the veteran themselves, but the family members can never wrap their head around it. I mean, you never understand what that person's going through, what they've seen, and then especially that family member trying to integrate them back in. They just need somebody to talk to. And I think that's Carrie's a wonderful example. I'll walk down there and they'll just people be just sitting in there just talking to her about random stuff. She kind of is that counselor when she's not supposed to be that counselor, but the students take advantage of that. And I think that's what makes KC such a military-friendly institution, because we do recognize that we have many of those students in this area that do struggle with some things and just need somebody to listen to them. So,
yeah, there's a big difference between saying you're military-friendly and you guys back it up. That's awesome.
Thanks.
So the ROTC program.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that. How did they get in? Tell us all about it.
Basically, contact me. Yes, we partnered with Southern Illinois University Edwardsville, SIUE, with that. So basically, I'm kind of the liaison. So basically, they take their classes at Edwardsville. So they on Thursdays go to Edwardsville and do their training. So basically, they're enrolled in classes at KC under the military code, but they do go to Edwardsville for their training. If they do that, their freshman, sophomore year, they would transfer to Edwardsville their junior year. They don't have to make a commitment until after their junior year. So if they decide their sophomore year, this is not for me, even after their junior year, but after their junior year, they're asked to make a commitment. After they go through the entire program, they are a commissioned officer in the Army. So if someone's wanting to make the military a career for them, that's definitely something that they want to do. They have a great program at SIUE. So basically, students contact me, say they want to do it. I get them in touch with the gentleman that's up there, and They basically show up, they give them their uniform, they give them their books. They don't have to pay for anything. Edwardsville takes care of that for them. The only thing they have to worry about is just getting there on Thursdays, is getting them, transportation. For a while, I had about 3 or 4 guys that were just carpooling. They were meeting and carpooling. Right now, I think I have one individual that's in it right now. I did have one that went completely through it when it first started and graduated from SIUE and was given an award and everything when it first started. So,
how long has Casey been doing that?
oh my goodness,
A while.
yeah. Since Dr. Underwood's the one that
It's been a while.
so 4 years, 5 years, probably when I first started in my position. So about 5 years ago, I guess. Yeah.
All right, Carrie. So I heard you talking about an event. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. Kaskaskia College every year hosts our Enduring Freedom Celebration, which is in conjunction to celebrate Veterans Day. This year, it's going to be held Wednesday, November 14th. We are closed in observation on that Monday after, and Wednesday worked better with our facilities to kind of get everybody there. And we didn't want to, also, we know things can happen in town and other places, so we wanted to make sure we weren't overlapping any other celebrations going on in our area. So again, it's Wednesday, November 14th. We have a free breakfast for all veterans anywhere in the community, anywhere in our district to come out. We serve biscuits and gravy and sausage, orange juice, coffee, milk, free for anyone. Our president's cabinet comes out and serves the food for everyone. And then we have a program that starts at 9:45 in the auditorium. So the cafeteria is where the breakfast is, and then right next door is the auditorium, and that's where we do the actual program. This year we're focusing on the Purple Heart. It's, I think, an anniversary of the Purple Heart. So we're having so far 3 individuals that are Purple Heart recipients that are going to do a panel discussion. 2 of them are actual students at KC. So that's always, I always love it when my students can be involved in the celebration. So there'll be 2 students, and then a gentleman from Vietnam, I believe, is going to be there. And we also may have a speaker as well. We're just kind of working on those details. But so we'll definitely have that going on. And it's always just it's very emotional for me. I get very emotional during that day for some reason. But just because they have the song, they do all the different songs for the military branches and things like that. So it always gives me chills and everything like that. So, yeah, that'll be Wednesday, November 14th out at the college.
And where can someone go if they want to get some more information about that?
They can call me. My number is 545-3075, and I can absolutely get them the information for anything that they need.
Okay, cool.
Whether it's the Enduring Freedom Celebration, whether it's coming back to school and using military benefits, I'm definitely their person to get a hold of. I can help them through that process. I know it can be overwhelming, especially when they'll call and say, I think I have benefits, I don't know for sure, and I don't know what to do, and I don't even know. I got out and I didn't pay attention. I was just getting out. I wanted out. They go through, they have an exit type of thing they go through. And a lot of them are like, I don't know, I just wanted out of there. I was done and I didn't pay attention to what I was supposed to pay attention to. So that's when I come in. That's why they have my job.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember FAFSA stuff at Denver. It was overwhelming.
It got better. It got easier, guys.
Oh,
it's easier now.
Good.
Yeah, especially even when you were in school, Rachel.
Yeah. Hey, I sat in your office a couple times.
We got through it. We got through it.
Okay, anything else you guys would like to add?
Be looking for, press releases of the Veterans Center coming out. If you're out there and you want to help, if you want a way to give back to veterans, reach out to Carrie or myself, and, we can talk about different ways. It doesn't always have to be monetary, just whatever. If you're out there in the community, you have resources and we may not know about you, let us know, because we want to make sure we're connecting them not only with what we can do in higher education, but to community resources if necessary as well. So definitely want to build that partnership as much as we can with those in the communities as well. So anything you need, contact either one of us.
Okay. All right, Carrie and Ashley, thank you guys so much for being here today, and we hope to talk to you again sometime.
Thank you for having us.
You are listening to Centralia on Air with Shane and Rachel. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Shane and Rachel here. You're listening to Centralia on Air. Rachel, how's it going? You married woman. Tell us about it. Tell us every detail from start to finish.
Oh, boy.
What time did you get up in the morning? 3 a.m.?
Yeah. Drama. No, I'm just kidding. It's hectic getting married, Mm-hmm. It's a lot of stuff to do. A lot of work. Putting on your own wedding. All my bridesmaids kept asking, what can we do? What can we do? And I'm like, nothing. I got it all done. They're like, wow, this isn't your first time. Oh, first time getting married. Not first time hosting a wedding.
Sure.
What? That didn't make sense. Whatever. Anyways, nobody wants to hear about all that.
Yeah, you're probably right. Well, it was a very nice wedding. I'll just let everybody know. Very few fights broke out. I thought it was all really classy.
Thank you.
Can I still call you Rachel Roddy?
Of course.
Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Is that legal?
Yep.
All right, well, if we're not going to talk about your wedding, what can we talk about?
Wednesday Wonders. Duh.
Okay.
So, Shane, tell him, what'd we do this week?
Well, to celebrate Halloween, we thought we'd sneak one more Halloween theme into our Wednesday Wonders.
Because it was Halloween.
Exactly.
Wednesday, October 31st.
October 31st, 2018 was Halloween. Right.
Yeah, and it rained.
Oh, it was so rainy and wet. Mm-hmm. All my candy got soggy.
Yeah. You took the girls trick-or-treating,
Yeah.
but you didn't bring us any Kit Kats.
I've been seeing a lot of Halloween memes of parents confiscating the Reese's.
Yeah, I told you that one.
Right. I
gave you
into
birth.
this.
Yeah.
Right. For me, that's Kit Kats, probably.
Okay, I gave you birth. You give me your Reese's. Mm-hmm. But for you, it's Kit Kats.
Yeah, that's the parent tax. Anyways, Wednesday Wonders, we did kind of a Halloween costume battle royale. Mm-hmm. We got things like...
Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo versus Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
There's a couple nerdy white guys to dress up as. I would have fit in with either one of them. Who won that?
Where's Waldo?
Really? Mm-hmm. That's surprising.
I think it's because it's easy costume. Just get a red striped shirt and a hat and some glasses.
I don't know. It sounds like you're describing Napoleon Dynamite to me.
True. You have the hair for Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah. What's next?
Have you ever been Napoleon Dynamite?
On accident, probably. But not on purpose.
Okay, the next one is a guy dressed up with 50 Shades of Grey
Paint chips. Right. Taped to his shirt.
Yeah, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah. Versus...
One Night Stand.
And how did they do that?
So they cut out a cardboard box and put it over the guy's head and then put like a tablecloth over it with like a lamp.
Made it look like a nightstand.
A nightstand.
And he was one.
He was one night stand. Both of those are so funny. Okay, which one? Tie. They were a tie.
Really?
Yep.
The public couldn't decide which one was raunchier.
50 Shades of Grey or One Night Stand.
How about that? What did you pick?
Oh, I picked One Night Stand.
That doesn't surprise me.
You picked 50 Shades of Grey.
Moving on.
I can see what you picked.
Oh, no.
You don't have to judge me. Okay. What was the next one? Oh, Spice Girls or Mean Girls?
Right. I have to guess. Mean Girls won?
Spice Girls.
Won?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Spice Girls won.
Wow.
People love to dress up as the Spice Girls.
Well, there was a Mean Girls thing recently, right? Like, it was the day.
Yeah.
What was it? Wednesday.
October 3rd. Wednesday, October 3rd.
On Wednesdays, we
wear pink.
I can't believe Mean Girls didn't win.
I know, me too.
Very surprising.
Okay, next up was Jack and Coke. So the guy wears like a Jack Daniels t-shirt and the girl wears a Coke t-shirt.
Right.
Up against Deer in the Headlights. So
and if you haven't seen this,
just
look it up.
Yeah. The guy's the deer.
Look up couples.
And the girl's the headlights.
There you go. It's clean.
Yeah. So Deer in the Headlights won.
That sounds about right. And then not lastly.
No, we keep going, Shane.
Okay.
Don't get ahead of ourselves.
Where's the brawny one? That was my favorite.
That's the last one. Nope, that's not the last one. Okay. The next one was Taco Bell packets or M&Ms. And Taco Bell hot sauce packets won.
I figured.
And I dressed up like that last year.
Did you do as good as they did in the picture?
No.
They look good.
They do. All right, the next one. Oh, Rock, Paper, Scissors versus Alvin and the Chipmunks. And Alvin and the Chipmunks won.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors looks so good. Alvin and the Chipmunks, man, that's played out.
Yeah.
That's boring.
Yeah. Have you ever been in that?
No.
Okay. All right. So Brownie, right?
Nope. Brawny.
Brawny. Brownie. Brawny paper towels.
Guy.
The guy. Or chick magnet.
Right. This was manly man versus manly man.
Yeah.
The guy's got a giant magnet around his neck, and he glued little chicks to it.
That's so funny.
What one?
Your guy.
Brawny?
Yeah.
Brownie?
Brownie. Okay. Next up, was this The Office?
Jeez, you don't even know. Yes, it's Jim and Pam from The Office. I don't watch The Office.
Yeah, you might know.
Isn't it funny?
If you're a listener, you know that I don't watch The Office.
And you also know that Rachel and I don't watch anything the same.
Not at all. Okay. And Juno, the movie?
Yes. Office one, huh?
Big time.
Big time.
Yeah, big time. Okay, now the superheroes. Tell us.
We had Marvel characters.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor.
Yep.
You know, with all the popular movies.
Yeah.
Versus the DC characters, like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. I don't think what I thought was going to win won.
Okay, like Batman, Superman.
DC guys won, didn't they?
Yeah.
That surprised me, because the movies suck. Everyone loves the Marvel movies. Nobody likes the DC ones.
There we go. Those are our Wednesday Wonders. Okay, this week, Wednesday Wonders, what's it going to be, Shane?
I wonder what it'll be. Teaser. It's going to have something to do with food.
Yep.
Not Thanksgiving. That's all you get.
There you go.
Follow us on Instagram. You'll see it on Wednesday.
Shane and Rachel here. Here's a look at your community calendar. Centralia Cultural Society presents Sleeping Beauty November 3rd through the 11th.
The 17th annual Barn Dust Craft Fair, located on 28509 Poplar Road in Centralia, on November 10th from 8 to 4 and November 11th from noon to 4. Ornaments, wooden crafts, floral arrangements, and many more items.
Wren Lake College is hosting a Glow Bingo on Friday, November 16th. Doors will open at 5:30. For more information, call 618-437-5321, extension 1308.
Fantasy of Lights at Foundation Park in Centralia, November 21st through December 31st.
Centralia Cultural Society will be selling Christmas trees starting November 24th from 11 to 7 at 315 South Elm in Centralia. All size trees, 5 foot to 12 foot, prices to fit all budgets.
Sisterhood of Trauma Survivors presents Goth Glam Gala on Saturday, November 24th from 6 to 10 at Cedarhurst Center in Mount Vernon. Black attire requested.
Enjoy a Christmas shopping stroll in downtown Centralia on Friday, November 30th from 3 to 7.
Holiday Craft Fair on Saturday, December 1st at the Rollin Lewis Building in Mount Vernon from 9 to 4.
Downtown Christmas Parade in Mount Vernon on Saturday, December 1st from noon to 4. The parade will begin on 9th Street between Broadway and Main.
Breakfast with Santa, hosted by CASA of Jefferson County at Mount Vernon Veterans Park on December 8th from 8 to 10 a.m.
And a look at your local area blood drives. Tuesday, November 27th at Iuka Grade School from 2 to 6. Tuesday, November 27th at Carlisle Grade School from 3 to 7. Wednesday, November 28th at Blueford Elementary School from noon to 5. And that's a look at your community calendar on X95 and the Big 1210. If you have an event you would like to share with us, you can call, email, or stop by. For more information about these events and others, check out our website at x95radio.com.
That's it for this week. If you want to comment on anything, you can hit us up on Facebook or Twitter at X95 Radio. If you like what you heard today, come back next Sunday at 11 on X95 and the Big 1210. You can also find past shows on YouTube.
And for our X95 listeners, be sure to check out Open House Party tonight starting at 6 and Slow Jam starting at 11.
Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, she's Rachel Roddy.
And he's Shane Lother.
And this was Centralia On Air.